The rain fell hard outside Ethan Brooks's small house. It was a quiet evening in a sleepy town on the edge of nowhere. Ethan sat in his old armchair, reading a worn book by the light of a single lamp. He was 35, tall but not too big, with short brown hair and kind eyes that looked tired from long days at the repair shop. He lived alone since his parents passed away years ago. The house was simple: one floor, a small porch, and a yard with grass that needed cutting. A soft knock came at the door. It was so quiet, he almost missed it over the sound of the rain. Ethan put the book down and listened. Another knock, even smaller. He stood up, walked to the door, and opened it slowly. There stood a little girl. She looked about 8 or 9 years old. Water dripped from her dark hair, which stuck to her face. Her skin had a faint silver shine, like moonlight on metal, and her eyes were bright violet. She wore a thin silver jacket that looked too big for her, and she held a small round device in her hands. It glowed softly blue. She shivered. "Hello?" Ethan said in a gentle voice. "Are you okay? Where are your parents?" The girl looked up at him. Her lips moved, but no sound came out at first. Then she spoke in clear but careful English. "Is this the safe house?" Ethan blinked. He looked past her into the dark street. No one else was there. No car, no adults, nothing. Just rain and wet leaves on the ground. "I don't know about any safe house," he said, "but you look cold and wet. Come inside before you get sick." He stepped back and held the door open wider. The girl hesitated. She glanced at the device in her hands, then at Ethan's face. Something in his calm eyes made her decide. She took one small step forward, then another, and walked into the warm house. Ethan closed the door against the wind. The girl stood just inside, dripping water onto the mat. Her shoes were strange, soft silver boots with no laces. She looked around the living room. The old couch, the wooden table, the pictures on the wall of people smiling in old photos. "Here," Ethan said. He took a clean towel from a shelf near the door. "Dry yourself off. I'll get you something warm to drink." He went to the kitchen. The girl slowly wiped her face and arms. Her skin really did glow a little, even in the soft light. She looked scared, but curious. Ethan came back with a mug of hot cocoa. Steam rose from it. He set it on the coffee table. "It's chocolate. Kids like it, right? Sit down if you want." The girl sat on the edge of the couch. She held the mug with both hands. The warmth made her relax a little. She took a small sip, and her violet eyes opened wide. "It is sweet and hot." Ethan sat in the chair across from her, not too close. He didn't want to scare her. "Ethan Brooks, what's your name?" She looked at him for a long moment. "Lyra," she said quietly. "Nice to meet you, Lyra." Ethan smiled a small smile. "How did you get here? Did you get lost?" Lyra stared into her mug. "I walked too far. Mother said stay close, but I wanted to see the houses, the lights. They are different." She paused. "I thought this was the place she told me about, the safe one, but I knocked on the wrong door." Ethan leaned forward a little. "Your mother is nearby?" Lyra nodded. "She is hiding. We came to Earth because it is safe for now. No one looks for us here." Ethan's heart beat faster. "Earth." She said it like she came from somewhere else. He looked at her silver skin again, the strange eyes, the glowing device. He took a slow breath. "You're not from around here, are you?" he asked softly. Lyra shook her head. A tiny smile touched her lips. The first one. "No, I am not human." He didn't laugh or run. He just sat there. "Okay, that's big news, but you're still a kid, and it's raining hard outside. You can stay here until we figure this out." Lyra's eyes met his. "You are not afraid?" "A little," Ethan admitted, "but I've seen a lot of strange things in life. Lost people, broken machines, hard days. A girl from space isn't the scariest thing I've met." Lyra looked down at the device in her lap. She pressed something on it. A small hologram appeared above it. A map of stars, spinning slowly. Lines connected bright points. Planets, ships, places Ethan had never seen. "This is home," Lyra said. "Far away. My mother is a princess, or she was. Bad people took her throne. They do not like me, because I am half human." Ethan stared at the hologram. His mouth opened, then closed. "Half human? Long ago, one of my family loved a human. They had a child." The line continued. "I am from that line. The new rulers say I am wrong. A mistake. They want to take me or make me disappear." Ethan felt anger rise in his chest. Not at Lyra, but at whoever would hurt a child. "That's not right," he said firmly. "No one should hurt a kid for who their parents are." Lyra looked at him with surprise. "You believe me? Just like that?" "I believe what I see," Ethan said, "and what I hear. You're scared, you're alone, and you need help. That's enough for me." The hologram faded. Lyra set the device on the table. She drank more cocoa. "This drink is good. Humans make nice things." Ethan chuckled. "We try. Want some cookies to go with it? I have chocolate ones." Lyra nodded eagerly. Ethan went to the kitchen again. He came back with a plate of cookies. Lyra took one and bit into it. Crumbs fell on her lap. She laughed, a small, clear sound. Ethan watched her. She looked like any child enjoying a treat, except for the silver skin and violet eyes. But those didn't matter right now. What mattered was that she was safe, warm, and not alone. Outside, the rain kept falling. Thunder rolled far away. Inside, the lamp glowed softly. Ethan sat back in his chair. "So," he said, "what do we do next? Do you need to call your mother?" Lyra picked up the device. "I can try, but the signal is weak here, and if the bad ones are close, they might find us." Ethan thought for a moment. "Then we wait a bit. Let the storm pass. In the morning we can try outside, away from the houses. I know some quiet places." Lyra looked at him with big eyes. "You will help me, even though I am alien?" Ethan met her gaze. "Especially because you're a kid who needs help. That's what people do, or at least, that's what they should do." Lyra smiled wider this time. "Humans are strange. Soft skin, no glow, no powers. But you are not running away." Ethan shrugged. "Or maybe we just don't like bullies." Lyra finished her cookie. She leaned back on the couch. Her small body looked less tense now. Ethan stood up. "You can sleep on the couch tonight. I'll get blankets and a pillow. In the morning, we'll contact your mom. Sound good?" Lyra nodded. "Thank you, Ethan." "You're welcome, Lyra." He went to the closet to find extra blankets. When he came back, Lyra was already curled up, the device held close like a toy. Her eyes were half closed. Ethan covered her gently. He turned off the big light, leaving only the lamp on. He sat in his chair again, watching the rain hit the window. A real alien princess's child was sleeping on his couch. The wrong door had brought her here. But maybe, just maybe, it was the right door after all. The night passed quietly. Rain tapped on the roof like soft fingers. Ethan stayed in his chair most of the time, dozing lightly. He woke every hour to check on Lyra. She slept curled up under the blanket, her small chest rising and falling. The glowing device rested next to her pillow, its light dim now. When morning came, gray light slipped through the curtains. Ethan made coffee for himself and warmed milk for Lyra. He set the mug on the table with some toast and jam. The smell woke her. She sat up slowly, rubbing her violet eyes. "Good morning," Ethan said. "Did you sleep okay?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, the couch is soft and quiet. No alarms or ship hums." Ethan smiled. "Earth can be quiet sometimes. Eat something. Then we can try to call your mother." Lyra took the toast. She spread jam carefully, like it was something precious. She ate small bites and watched Ethan sip his coffee. "You do not ask many questions," she said. "Most humans would scream or run, or call others." Ethan shrugged. "I figured you'd tell me when you were ready. No point in pushing a scared kid." Lyra looked at him for a long time. "You are different. My mother says humans are loud and messy, but you are calm." "I try," Ethan said. "Now, about that call. Can we do it here, or do we need to go outside?" Lyra picked up the device. She pressed a few spots on its smooth surface. A small screen appeared, floating like a thin sheet of light. She spoke into it in a strange language, quick, musical words. The device answered in the same language. Lyra frowned. "Signal is still weak," she said, "and there is interference, maybe from your machines." Ethan thought. "My house has old wiring. Maybe that's it. We can go to the backyard. It's private with trees all around. No neighbors close enough to see." Lyra agreed. They stepped outside after she finished her toast. The air smelled fresh after the rain. Wet grass shone under the pale sun. Ethan led her to the far end of the yard, behind a row of tall bushes. No one could see them from the street. Lyra knelt on the grass. She set the device down and spoke again. This time, the floating screen grew brighter. A face appeared, beautiful, with the same silver skin as Lyra, but sharper features and long dark hair tied back. The woman looked worried. "Lyra," the woman said. Her voice came clear now. "Where are you? I searched all night." "Mother," Lyra's voice cracked. "I got lost. I walked too far. A human found me. He helped me." The woman's violet eyes narrowed. She looked past Lyra, straight at Ethan. "Human, step closer." Ethan moved forward slowly. He kept his hands open, palms up. "I'm Ethan Brooks. I didn't hurt her. Just gave her a place to dry off and some food." Princess Vera Thalor studied him. "You know what she is?" "I know she's your daughter," Ethan said. "And that she's in trouble. That's all I need to know." Vera's face softened a little. "You are not afraid." "I've been afraid before," Ethan said. "Doesn't help much. Better to do what needs doing." Lyra tugged at Ethan's sleeve. "He is good, Mother. He made hot sweet drink and cookies." Vera almost smiled. "I will come soon. But it is dangerous. The hunters are close. They track my signal. If they find you—" Ethan looked around the quiet yard. "How close?" "Soon," Vera said. "Hours, maybe less. I have a small ship, cloaked, but I need time to reach your location without being seen." Ethan nodded. "Then we stay hidden here until you arrive. My house is small, but no one bothers me. Neighbors think I'm boring." Vera looked thoughtful. "Why help us? You gain nothing." Ethan met her gaze through the hologram. "And no kid should be hunted. Simple as that." The princess was quiet for a moment. "Humans, always surprising. Stay inside. Keep her safe. I will signal when I am near." The hologram faded. Lyra looked up at Ethan. "She trusts you, a little." "Good enough for me," Ethan said. "Come on, let's go back inside. We can play some games or watch something while we wait." They went back to the house. Ethan locked the doors and pulled the curtains tighter. He showed Lyra how to use the television. She stared at the bright screen with wide eyes. He put on a cartoon about animals talking and going on adventures. Lyra laughed at the silly parts. Ethan sat nearby, pretending to read a magazine, but really watching the windows. Hours passed. Lyra asked questions about everything: why humans had pets, why they ate plants and animals, why they told stories that were not true. Ethan answered patiently. He told her about his childhood, about fixing cars with his dad, about losing them too soon. Lyra listened like it was the most interesting thing in the galaxy. "You are alone too," she said softly, "like me sometimes." Ethan nodded. "Yeah, but alone doesn't mean lonely. Not always. Lyra reached out and touched his hand. Her skin was cool and smooth. You are not alone now. Ethan squeezed her small fingers gently. Neither are you. Outside, the day grew darker. Clouds came back. Ethan made sandwiches for lunch. Peanut butter and jelly for Lyra, ham and cheese for himself. She loved the sticky sweetness. She licked her fingers and asked for another one. As the afternoon wore on, Ethan started to feel uneasy. He checked the windows more often. Then he heard it. A low hum, like a distant truck, but different. Not human. Lyra heard it too. She froze. They are here. He came back, with a toolbox and some old radio parts. I used to build signal blockers for fun. Ham radio stuff. Maybe I can jam their trackers for a while. Lyra watched him work. He connected wires, twisted screws, attached a small antenna from an old set. His hands moved fast, but steady. In 20 minutes, he had a rough device plugged into the wall. Try your signal now, he said. Lyra spoke into her device. The screen flickered, then cleared. Better. They cannot find us as easy. Ethan wiped his hands. Good. It'll buy time. But time was short. Through a crack in the curtain, Ethan saw lights in the sky. 3 small dots moving too smoothly to be planes. They hovered over the town, then started down. Lyra grabbed his arm. Mother said she is coming, but they are faster. Ethan took a deep breath. Then we keep you safe until she gets here. No one touches you while I'm around. He led her to the back room, away from the front windows. He pushed a heavy bookshelf in front of the door. It wasn't much, but it was something. Lyra sat on the floor, hugging her knees. Ethan sat next to her. Tell me more about your home, he said. Distract us both. Lyra spoke quietly. She told him about floating cities, about stars you could touch, about her mother's garden that glowed at night. Ethan listened. He asked questions. He made her laugh once by saying humans would probably build roller coasters between the stars if they could. Outside, the hum grew louder. Shadows moved past the house. Ethan stood up. He looked through a small gap in the curtain. Tall figures in dark armor walked the street. They scanned with handheld lights. One stopped in front of Ethan's yard. Ethan turned to Lyra. Stay here. Don't make a sound. He walked to the front door. His heart pounded, but his face stayed calm. He opened the door just enough. A tall alien warrior stood there, skin like polished stone, eyes red. He carried a weapon that hummed with energy. Human, the warrior said in rough English. We seek the child. Give her to us. Ethan leaned against the doorframe. No child here, just me and my bad TV reception. The warrior stepped closer. We detect her signal. Weak, but here. Ethan smiled a little. Your tech must be broken. Happens to the best of us. The warrior raised his weapon. Step aside. Ethan didn't move. Can't do that. This is my house. My rules. Behind him, Lyra peeked from the hallway. She saw Ethan standing there, unarmed, facing a killer from the stars, and he wasn't shaking. The warrior laughed, a cold sound. You are nothing. Weak flesh, no armor, no power. Maybe, Ethan said, but I'm between you and her, and I'm not moving. The warrior took another step. Ethan braced himself. He didn't know how to fight aliens, but he knew how to protect what mattered. In the distance, another sound came. A different hum, higher and cleaner. A cloaked ship breaking atmosphere. Vera was close. The warrior heard it too. He looked up. Ethan used the moment. He slammed the door and locked it. He ran back to Lyra. Come on, he said. Time to move. They slipped out the back door into the yard. The trees gave some cover. Ethan led her toward the woods behind the house. Lyra ran beside him, her small hand in his. Behind them, the front door exploded inward. The hunters were inside. But Ethan and Lyra were already gone, moving fast through the wet grass, heading for deeper cover. Ethan and Lyra ran through the wet grass behind the house. Their feet made soft splashing sounds. The woods were close, tall trees with thick branches and dark shadows. Ethan held Lyra's small hand tightly. She ran as fast as her legs could go, but she was breathing hard. "Keep going," Ethan said in a low voice. "We'll hide in the trees. They can't see us there as easy." Behind them, lights flashed from the house. The front door was broken open. Tall figures in dark armor moved inside, searching rooms. Their red eyes glowed in the dark. One pointed toward the backyard. They saw the footprints in the grass. Ethan pulled Lyra behind a big oak tree. He knelt down so they were hidden by bushes. "Stay low," he whispered. "Don't move." Lyra pressed close to him. Her silver skin looked dull in the shadows. She clutched her glowing device. "They will find us," she said, voice shaking. "They always do." "Not today," Ethan said. The woods went deep, old paths he used to walk when he needed quiet. He knew every turn, every ditch, every fallen log. He stood slowly and looked back. 3 hunters came out the back door. They spread out. One held a scanner that beeped. It pointed right at their hiding spot. Ethan thought fast. "We can't stay here. We need to move deeper. There's an old barn about a mile away. No one goes there anymore. We can wait there for your mom." Lyra nodded. "I can help. I can make light tricks." She pressed something on her device. A soft shimmer appeared around them, like heat waves on a hot road. The air bent a little. To the hunters they would look like part of the bushes. "Good," Ethan said. "Now run." They moved again, this time slower, careful not to snap twigs. The hunters followed, but they looked confused. Their scanners beeped wrong directions. One shouted in their hard language. The others split up. Ethan led Lyra along a narrow path. Roots stuck out like traps. He lifted her over the biggest ones. She was light, like a bird. When she got tired, he picked her up and carried her on his back. Her arms wrapped around his neck. She was warm against his shoulders. "You are strong," she whispered. "Adrenaline," Ethan said with a small laugh. "It makes humans do crazy things." They kept going. The hunters' lights swept the trees far behind, sometimes close. Once, a beam passed right over them. Lyra's illusion bent the light just enough. The hunter stopped, looked, then moved on. After what felt like forever, they reached the old barn. It was falling apart, wood gray and soft, roof with holes. The big doors hung crooked. Ethan pushed one open, just enough to slip inside. Dust floated in the air. Old hay smelled sweet and dry. He set Lyra down. She sat on a bale of hay. Ethan closed the door and found a spot where they could see out through a crack. "Rest a minute," he said. "Your mom will come. She said so." Lyra nodded. She looked small and scared. "I am sorry. I should not have walked away. I wanted to see human children play. I saw them on a screen once. They laughed a lot." Ethan sat next to her. "It's okay. Kids explore. That's how we learn." He pulled a small flashlight from his pocket, the one he always carried when he fixed things outside. He turned it on low. The weak beam showed spider webs and old tools on the walls. Lyra looked at the tools. "You make things with those?" "Yeah," Ethan said. "Fix cars, build shelves, whatever needs fixing. Keeps my hands busy." Lyra smiled a little. "Humans fix things. My people destroy and rebuild bigger. You keep the small things safe." Ethan thought about that. Maybe that's why we last. We don't throw away what works. Outside, the hunters were closer now. Their lights danced between the trees. Voices came, short, angry words. One hunter stopped near the barn. He scanned the ground. Footprints led right to the door. Ethan's stomach tightened. He stood up. "Stay here," he told Lyra. "Hide behind the hay. If they come in, use your tricks. Don't let them see you." Lyra grabbed his sleeve. No, do not go out. They will hurt you. I won't let them get to you, Ethan said. That's the deal. He walked to the door. He opened it a crack. The lead hunter stood 10 feet away, tall, almost 7 feet, armor black and smooth. A long weapon in his hands glowed at the tip. The hunter saw Ethan. Human, he said in rough English, you hide the child. Give her now. She is not yours. Ethan stepped outside. He closed the door behind him. She's not yours either. She's a kid. She deserves better than hunters. The hunter laughed. You stand against me? No weapon, no armor. You die fast. Maybe, Ethan said, but I'm not moving. 2 more hunters came from the sides. They raised their weapons. Red lights aimed at Ethan's chest. The lead hunter stepped closer. Why protect her? She is not your blood. Your world means nothing to us. Ethan looked straight into the red eyes. Doesn't matter. She knocked on my door, scared, wet, alone. I answered. That's it. The hunter tilted his head. Strange creatures. You feel for weak things. She's not weak, Ethan said. She's brave. She ran all night. She trusted a stranger. That takes strength. Inside the barn, Lyra watched through a crack. Her hands shook. She pressed her device. A small illusion started. Shadows moved like people running the other way. The hunters turned. There, one shouted. They started that direction. The lead hunter stayed. He looked at Ethan again. You buy time. But useless. Ethan didn't answer. He just stood there, feet planted, shoulders square. The hunter raised his weapon higher. Last chance. Ethan shook his head. Not happening. The hunter fired. A thin beam of red light shot out. Ethan twisted fast. The beam hit the barn wall next to him. Wood smoked and cracked. Ethan didn't run. He stepped forward instead. You missed. The hunter looked surprised, then angry. He fired again. Ethan rolled to the side. The ground burned where he stood. From the trees, more lights came. But these were different. Clean white, not red. A low hum filled the air. Something big but invisible moved overhead. The hunters looked up. The princess, one yelled. The lead hunter turned back to Ethan. You die now. He aimed. Ethan braced. But before the weapon fired, a bright flash came from above. A beam, blue and sharp, hit the hunter's weapon. The hunter fell back, yelling. A shuttle appeared, cloaked until now. It dropped from the sky like a silver bird. The side opened. Princess Vera stepped out. Tall, strong, silver skin shining. Behind her, soldiers in lighter armor. Vera's eyes found Ethan first, then the barn. Lyra? Lyra ran out. Mother? She ran to Vera. Vera knelt and held her tight. My child, you are safe. The remaining hunters raised weapons. Vera's soldiers fired. Blue beams met red. The fight was short. The hunters fell back, then ran into the woods. Vera stood. She looked at Ethan. He had a burn on his arm from a close shot. Smoke rose from his sleeve. He didn't complain. You stood against them, Vera said, alone, for my daughter. Ethan shrugged. She needed someone. I was there. Vera looked at him a long time. Humans, my people called you weak, small, but you did not run. You did not beg. She smiled at him, tears in her violet eyes. I just answered the door, Ethan said quietly. Vera put a hand on Lyra's shoulder. Come, we must leave. But first, thank you, Ethan Brooks. Ethan nodded. Keep her safe, that's all I ask. Vera smiled, a real one, small but warm. I will, and perhaps one day we will speak again. Lyra ran to Ethan. She hugged him hard. Thank you, for the cocoa, for the stories, for everything. Ethan hugged her back. Anytime, kid. The shuttle hummed. Vera called her daughter. Lyra let go slowly. She waved as she walked to the ramp. Ethan watched them go. The shuttle rose, turned invisible, and was gone. He stood alone in the dark woods. The barn smoked a little. His arm hurt, but he smiled. The wrong door had brought something big, and maybe, just maybe, it had changed things for everyone. The shuttle hovered low over the clearing near the old barn. Its silver shape shimmered for a moment before the cloak dropped fully. The side door slid open with a quiet hiss. Princess Vera Thalor stepped out first. She wore light armor that glowed faintly blue. Her long dark hair moved in the night wind. Behind her came 4 of her loyal guards, tall, silver-skinned, carrying slim rifles that hummed softly. The remaining hunters turned fast. Their red eyes flashed with surprise and anger. The lead hunter, the one who had faced Ethan, raised what was left of his broken weapon. "Princess traitor," he shouted. "You come for the half-breed?" Vera's voice was calm and cold. "She is my daughter, not a half-breed, and you will not touch her." The hunters opened fire. Red beams cut through the dark. Vera's guards answered with blue light. The beams crossed like bright threads. One hunter fell back, hit in the chest. Another dove behind a tree. The lead hunter charged forward, aiming at Vera. Ethan stood near the barn door. Lyra was behind him, peeking out. He pushed her gently back. "Stay inside," he said. "Let your mom handle this." But Lyra shook her head. "I can help." She lifted her device. Her small fingers moved fast. A wave of soft light spread out. It bent the air again. Illusions of more people running between the trees. The hunters turned, confused, shooting at shadows. Ethan saw his chance. He ran to the side of the barn. He grabbed an old metal rake from the wall. Not a weapon, but better than nothing. He moved low, staying in the dark. One hunter was close, separated from the others. Ethan came up behind him. He swung the rake hard. It hit the hunter's helmet with a loud clang. The hunter stumbled. Ethan kicked the back of his knee. The tall alien dropped to the ground. The hunter turned, snarling. He raised his arm to strike. Ethan ducked and rolled away. Ethan grabbed a loose board from the barn wall. He swung it like a bat. It cracked against the hunter's arm. The alien growled, but did not fall. Above them, Vera fought. She moved fast, graceful and strong. She dodged a red beam, spun, and fired her own weapon. The beam hit the lead hunter in the shoulder. He roared and dropped to one knee. Ethan's hunter stood up again. He lunged. Ethan stepped back. His foot caught on a root. He fell hard. The hunter raised his weapon. The red tip glowed bright. A small blue flash came from the barn. Lyra had aimed her device, not to hurt, but to blind. A burst of bright light hit the hunter's eyes. He yelled and covered his face. Ethan used the moment. He rolled to his feet, grabbed the hunter's arm, and twisted. The weapon fell. Ethan kicked it away into the grass. The hunter swung a fist. It hit Ethan's side. Pain exploded in his ribs. He gasped, but did not let go. He pushed forward, using all his weight. The hunter stumbled back into a tree. His head hit the trunk. He slid down, dazed. Ethan stood, breathing hard. His side hurt. His burned arm throbbed. But he looked toward Lyra. She was safe. Vera finished her fight. The last hunter tried to run. A guard shot him in the leg. He fell. The guards moved in, binding the survivors with glowing cuffs. Silence came. Only the wind and soft hums from the shuttle. Vera walked to Ethan. She looked at the board still in his hand, the rake on the ground, the dazed hunter at his feet. Then she looked at his face, sweaty, bruised, but calm. "You fought," she said, "with tools, with your body. No training, no power." Ethan dropped the board. "I just didn't want them near her." Vera glanced at Lyra. The girl ran out now. She hugged her mother's legs first, then turned and ran to Ethan. She wrapped her arms around his waist. "You are hurt," she said. "Your arm, your side." "I'm okay. Just bumps." Vera stepped closer. She lifted Ethan's burned arm carefully. The skin was red and blistered from the earlier energy shot. She pressed a small device to it. A cool light spread. The pain eased. The burn faded to pink. "You took that hit for her," Vera said. "I saw it. You stepped in front when the beam came." Ethan shrugged. "She's small. I'm bigger. Makes sense." Vera looked at him a long time. "My people do not understand this. We calculate. We weigh cost. You did not calculate. You acted." Ethan met her eyes. "Kids don't get to wait for calculations." Lyra looked up at her mother. "He is good, mother. He carried me. He made me laugh. He stood when the big one came." Vera knelt, so she was eye level with Lyra. "I know, little one." She looked back at Ethan. "You have my thanks. More than words. I can give you things. Technology, knowledge, wealth. Name it." Ethan shook his head. "I don't need anything. Just keep her safe. And maybe leave Earth alone. Let us figure things out on our own. We're not ready for big visitors yet." Vera stood. "You ask for nothing for yourself." "I got to meet Lyra," Ethan said. "That's enough." Vera's face changed, not soft, but thoughtful. "There is something you should know. Lyra's human blood is not from a mistake. Long ago, one of my ancestors loved a human. They had a child in secret. The line was hidden. When the coup came, they used that blood to call her wrong. But she is proof we can join, not just fight." Ethan looked at Lyra. "So she's special. More than just a princess's kid." "Yes," Vera said, "and tonight, a human showed what that joining can mean. Strength and softness, courage and kindness." The guards finished securing the hunters. They loaded them into a second small craft that landed nearby. Vera turned to Ethan again. "We must go. The Empire will send more. But I will protect this world. As long as my line lives, Earth will stay hidden. No fleets, no hunters." Ethan nodded. "Thank you." Lyra tugged his hand. "Can I stay a little? Please, Mother? Just a short time. I want to show him something." Vera looked at the sky, then at her daughter's hopeful face. 1 hour, no more. The risk is high." Lyra smiled big. She pulled Ethan toward the shuttle. "Come. I want to show you stars up close." Ethan hesitated. "I don't know if I should." Vera nodded. "You are welcome on my ship for a short time." They walked up the ramp. Inside, the shuttle was clean and bright. Soft lights glowed along the walls. Seats curved like waves. A big window showed the night sky. Lyra sat Ethan in a seat. She pressed buttons on a panel. The window changed. It zoomed out. Stars filled the view. Not like from Earth. Clear, bright, close. Colors Ethan had never seen. Purple, gold, deep blue. "Beautiful," he whispered. Lyra sat next to him. "This is my home. But your home is nice too. Quiet, green, sweet drinks." Ethan laughed softly. "Yeah, we have that." Vera watched from the doorway. She said nothing, but her eyes were different now. Not cold, not distant. After a while, Lyra yawned. "I am tired." Vera came over. "Time to go." Lyra hugged Ethan tight. "I will remember you, always." Ethan hugged her back. "Me too, kid. Stay brave." Vera walked him to the ramp. "If you ever need us, use this." She gave him a small crystal. It glowed faintly. "It will call me. Only once. Use it wisely." Ethan took it. "I hope I never need to." Vera smiled. A real small smile. Human surprise. "Maybe one day we will meet again. Not in war." The ramp closed. The shuttle rose. It turned invisible. Gone. Ethan stood in the clearing. The barn was quiet now. Smoke still rose from one wall. His side ached. His arm felt better. He walked back through the woods. Slow steps. The night was cool. Stars shone normal again. He reached his house. The front door hung broken. Inside, things were tossed. But it was his. He sat on the porch steps. He looked at the crystal in his hand, then up at the sky. A wrong door, a scared child, a fight in the dark. And now the galaxy knew something new about humans. They answered when someone knocked, even if it was from the stars. The shuttle had vanished into the night sky. Ethan stood in the clearing for a long time. The air felt cooler now. Crickets started singing again. The old barn looked smaller in the dark, with smoke still curling from the burned wall. His side hurt when he breathed deep. His arm felt stiff. But he was alive, and Lyra was safe. He walked back through the woods slowly. Branches brushed his shoulders. Leaves crunched under his shoes. The path felt longer on the way home. When he reached his yard, the grass was still wet from the earlier rain. Lights from the street glowed soft yellow. His house looked the same from outside, small, quiet, a little old. But the front door hung crooked on one hinge. Inside, chairs were tipped over. Papers lay on the floor. A lamp had fallen and broken. Ethan stepped over the mess. He didn't clean yet. He went to the kitchen. He opened the fridge and took out a cold bottle of water. He drank half of it in one long pull. Then he sat at the table. The small crystal Vera gave him sat in his hand. It was warm. It glowed a faint blue when he held it tight. He put it in his pocket. He thought about Lyra, her laugh when she ate cookies, her wide eyes at the cartoon animals, the way she hugged him like he was family. He smiled a little. Then he felt the quiet of the house. It was too quiet now. Morning came slow. Sunlight slipped through the broken door. Ethan woke on the couch. He had fallen asleep there without meaning to. His body ached everywhere. He stood up carefully. He made coffee. The smell filled the kitchen. He drank it black, standing by the window. Outside, birds flew between the trees. A dog barked far away. Normal sounds, earth sounds. He started to clean. He fixed the door first. He found screws and a hammer in the garage. He worked slowly. When the door closed right again, he swept the floor. He picked up the broken lamp pieces. One photo showed him and his parents years ago, smiling at a lake. He touched the glass. "You'd like her," he said to the photo. "She's a good kid." By afternoon, the house looked almost normal. Ethan sat on the porch steps with another cup of coffee. The sun felt warm on his face. He watched cars pass on the street. People waved sometimes. He waved back. Life went on. Then he heard a soft hum. Not loud, just enough to notice. He looked up. The air shimmered above the yard. The shuttle appeared again, small, silver, quiet. The side opened. Lyra stepped out first. She wore the same silver jacket, but now clean. Her violet eyes found him right away. She smiled big and ran across the grass. "Ethan," she called. He stood up fast. "Lyra, what are you doing here?" She reached him and hugged his legs. "Mother said I could come back, just for a little while, before we go far away." Vera stepped out next. She wore simple clothes now, no armor. Just a long dark robe. Her guards stayed inside the shuttle. She walked over slowly. "We leave this system soon," she said. "The Empire is searching." But Lyra asked. She wanted to say goodbye right. Ethan looked down at Lyra. "You okay?" "Yes," Lyra said. "I slept good. Mother told me stories about you. She said you are brave." Ethan chuckled. "I don't feel brave, just sore." Vera looked at the house. "You fixed the door." "Had to," Ethan said. "Can't leave it broken." Lyra pulled his hand. "Come, I want to play, like humans do." Ethan looked at Vera. She nodded. "1 hour, then we go." They went to the backyard. Ethan found an old baseball and glove in the garage. He showed Lyra how to throw. She missed a lot at first. The ball went high, or rolled on the grass. But she laughed every time. Ethan caught the bad throws. He threw soft ones back. Lyra got better fast. She even caught one good throw. I can do human things. You're a natural, Ethan said. They sat on the grass after. Lyra ate ice cream from Ethan's freezer. Chocolate. She licked it slow, like it was treasure. Ethan had one too. They watched clouds move across the sky. Lyra looked at him. Will you miss me? Yes, Ethan said. A lot. I will miss you, she said. And cocoa, and cookies, and your quiet house. Ethan smiled. You can come back someday, when it's safe. Lyra nodded. I will ask Mother. Vera watched from the porch. She walked over. It is time, she said gently. Lyra stood up slow. She hugged Ethan hard, her arms tight around his neck. Thank you, she whispered, for opening the door, for everything. Ethan hugged her back. Thank you for knocking. She let go. Tears shone in her violet eyes, but she smiled. I will be strong, like you. Ethan touched her cheek. You already are. Vera knelt. Lyra, go to the shuttle. I will come soon. Lyra ran to the ramp. She turned and waved. Then she went inside. Vera stood. She looked at Ethan. You changed things, she said. My people see humans different now. Not weak, not small, strong in ways we forgot. Ethan shrugged. I just did what felt right. That is the strength, Vera said. We calculate, you feel. Both are needed. She took a small pouch from her robe. Inside was a handful of crystals, small, clear, glowing soft. These are for you, she said. Not to call me, to see. Look through one at night. You will see stars closer, colors we see, a gift from Lyra's heart. Ethan took them. Thank you. Vera looked at the sky. We will watch from far. If trouble comes to your world, we will know, and we will remember what you did. Ethan nodded. Take care of her. Always, Vera said. She walked to the shuttle. The ramp closed. The ship rose slow. Then it shimmered and disappeared. Ethan stood alone again. The yard was quiet. The ice cream bowls sat on the grass. He picked them up. He went inside. Night came. Ethan sat on the porch. He held one crystal up to his eye. The stars changed. They grew bright. Colors danced. Purple, green, gold. Nebulae swirled like smoke. Planets glowed with rings. He saw the galaxy the way Lyra saw it. He lowered the crystal. Normal stars came back. Small, far, but beautiful too. He thought about the knock on the door, the scared girl, the chase, the fight, the goodbye. A wrong door, but the right one. He smiled into the dark. The house felt less empty now. Not because someone was there, but because someone had been. And because somewhere out there, a little alien girl with violet eyes remembered a human who answered when she needed him. Ethan stood up. He went inside. He locked the door. He turned off the lights. Outside, the stars kept shining. Some closer than before, some watching back. And somewhere in the black between them, a princess and her child flew home. Safe. Because a human said yes.